You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
We're live on YouTube, and if you're watching YouTube right now, the AI is stuck on Daniel.
Look at that handsome man
running up and down the hall. We're live everywhere on Facebook and Instagram. Nick Pagliocchini joins us.
Sausage being made.
Yes, it is.
That is indeed.
You get to see how this happens, but from behind the scenes. We just came back from the hallway having a very spirited discussion. Nick, how are you this evening?
I'm amazing. Carnisha literally just said it's been a week already. I'm like, it's Tuesday. So things are popping off here at Later with Mo Kelly.
It's a good way to see that we're actually sincere in what we're talking about. We're passionate about what we're talking
100%.
about. And you get to see how we are personally invested in what we're discussing.
And that's why I think this show is so different that way, because it really is, and especially with everything going on, if you're following us on YouTube or Instagram, Facebook, wherever you may be following along with us, or the iHeartRadio app, KFI on the radio, there's so much opportunity for you to be involved. But then, like Stefan just said, you also get to see how the sausage is made. So you get all those things here with Later with Mo Kelly that you don't get with anything else. So thank you for tuning in.
Okay, let's go.
That's my pitch.
KFI AM 640.
Okay, we're done.
Not a Mark Rock. No. What did you come here to talk about?
I was like, okay, so I'm gonna go. We'll get into it because I know we're a little behind, but want to start out with it is officially summer, Southern California. All schools are out. You do have kids that are in summer school, but there's so much happening right now. So I've got big theme parks. I've got some smaller things if you need a place for maybe the kids to go. But I want to start out with Universal Studios Hollywood. So last year we celebrated the 60th anniversary of the studio tour, and this year we're celebrating 60 years last year.
I didn't know it was
which
that
is wild.
old.
And it's so the theme park itself is older than that, but
right.
I should take that back.
I remember the Jaws.
Right.
So that's at least 50 years. So.
And that I was going to say, so we're celebrating, not to steal Chris's thunder from earlier, but I'm going to talk about the 50th anniversary of Jaws, which has a huge way of showing itself. So last year during the 60th anniversary, so the studio tour itself has been part of Universal Studios even before Universal Studios was a theme park. And so that's why we're kind of playing that game somewhere in between the 60 of the studio tour and the 50 of Jaws is where this all comes into play. Mm-hmm. But what's specific is that last year they had all these things. Jurassic Park. They had Bruce. If you know, but
Fast and Furious.
Fast and the Furious. And we're waiting for the drift attraction to be opening next year.
Yes.
Really?
I'm so excited
You're in?
for that. Oh yeah.
Are you a pass holder, or do you like Universal stuff?
I love Universal. I just don't have money for it.
No. I totally get that. And what's funny is there are a couple of deals going on right now. So I would highly recommend, Costco has some deals for you. AAA has some deals for you. I know both of those are memberships, but there are opportunities for you to save a few bucks. So you can always check out This Weekend with Nick or Nick Pagliocchini on social media. And I've got all the details at the link in bio there. I'm looking at the numbers, not seeing a lot of people checking it out. I'm putting all the details there for you. So if you're missing something, let me know. Hit me up in the DMs. But it is Mega Movie Summer this summer at Universal Studios Hollywood. It started back on the 13th of this month, and it will be going until August 10th. And it is encompassing everything you can imagine. The tagline is Lights, Camera, Summer.
We're showing it right now on YouTube.
And it is amazing because they are celebrating specifically the 50th anniversary of Jaws. Not that they're not celebrating Jurassic Park, which is coming soon with Rebirth. Jurassic World Rebirth has a whole thing. They've redone the attraction for Jurassic World inside of Universal Studios. They have made it even more wet than it was. It's a water ride. You go through the river ride and attraction with it. But Bruce is the name of the shark that they use in the studio tour. Also, there is a huge statue of it that used to be in the park. It went backstage. It was brought back out for the 60th anniversary of the studio tour. It is now at Universal Plaza on the upper lot at Universal Studios for you to take a picture with. But what's even more entertaining is they've really created a whole new environment with Amity Island, which is where Jaws comes from. And you get to meet characters from the movie live and in person, interact with them.
Did they dig up Robert Shaw?
Well, I was going to say the person that is
Roy Scheider.
The person that is representing these gentlemen, they're pretty good. They're pretty close. But yes, they're not walking cadavers. That's later with Halloween Horror Nights.
Got it.
I will be talking about that as well. In fact, tickets are on sale for that right now. Also, to slide it in there real quick, Oogie Boogie Bash tickets go on sale on Thursday. If you know, that's at Disney California Adventure at the Disneyland Resort.
Oh, they got Robert Shaw right now.
There you go.
Okay.
See, I was going to say, so that's one of the actors. If you're following us on YouTube, Mr. Mo Kelly, You can see one of the actors. That is Bruce the shark, and that is one of the actors from Amity Island. So that's going on. Back to the Future has a huge representation. You've got things going on with Illuminations, which is the Minions and all that kind of world from DreamWorks. There's so much happening. So that's happening. And then also you've got in Six Flags Magic Mountain, not too far away, up in Valencia, or Awesome Town, on the weekends now through the end of the summer. I'll try to get you a date on it. But you have the DC Heroes and Villains Fest happening Fridays and Saturdays, some Sundays. That'll be happening. So that's another opportunity for you to go out. Through July 26th. There we go. Fridays and Saturdays from 5 p.m. until close. You're able to, at Six Flags Magic Mountain up in Valencia, to experience a whole different experience. So I know we got to go to break and come back.
Yeah, let's do that. It's later with Mo Kelly. Nick Palokini joins us in studio. We're finding out what's up with Nick. KFI AM 640 live everywhere, the iHeartRadio app and social media, the video simulcast.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Nick Palokini. What's up with Nick is on to tell us all what you do. Nick Palokini. What's up with Nick is on with free 99 for you. Nick Palokini. What's up with Nick is on to give us fun things to do around SoCal. What's up with Nick is on with Mo Kelly and his crew.
KFI, it's later with Mo Kelly. We're live everywhere on social media and the iHeartRadio app. And if you missed any of our segments in the hallway and all of its blue humor and profanity, it will be available on the YouTube stream after the fact. It will be saved there in perpetuity. So if you missed any of that, or just a video stream altogether, you'll know where to find it on YouTube at Mr. Mo Kelly. Let's get back to Nick Palokini and find out what's up with him.
So we covered LA County and did a Universal Mega Movie Summer that runs through August 10th, and then also through the end of July. At Six Flags Magic Mountain in Valencia, you've got the Heroes and Villains Fest that runs until July 26th on Fridays and Saturdays. So heading over to Orange County, and unfortunately you cannot be a part of this, but if you do happen to have signed up for it, I want to know. So be sure to slide in my DMs. That's why I'm kind of putting the word out there. The world's largest swim lesson will be taking place this Thursday at Soak City at Knott's, Soak City Water Park, which is part of Knott's Berry Farm. So this Thursday, the 26th at 8 a.m., it will be in conjunction with other aquatic centers from around the country, and they're going for a Guinness World Record. So it'll be the simultaneous swimming lesson. So yeah. It's interesting, but what I do want to talk about in Knott's Berry Farm that you can do, we're deep in the middle of Summer Nights, as well as Ghost Town Alive. So both of those are events. You can kind of go day into night. Ghost Town Alive is an interactive daytime family fun experience. It takes you throughout the streets of Calico. So if you don't know much about Knott's Berry Farm, it originally started out as a ghost town for the Knott's family to be able to draw people in along the original Route 66. And
didn't know that.
It's wild, right? And so then they were able to do their jams and their jellies and everything, the Knott's family. But that's why they built the ghost town. So that's if you see the Crooked Room, if you're familiar with that or anything else. But what they do is they have an incredible immersive experience for you that happens during the day. And you get to meet the citizens of Calico. You meet the mayor, you meet the sheriff, you meet outlaws. There's a lot that goes on, and they've been doing this for a few years during the summer season, and it just gets better as time has gone by. This year is really impressive. And then at night, it kicks over to the Summer Nights, which is a whole other experience where you're able to do fun night experiences like roasting marshmallows, which is really cool. They've got some night shows. So it's a good time. And so I think it's well worth it. The reason I share these with you, you know I'm a huge fan of Disneyland, but sometimes that can be a bit cost prohibitive for folks, especially if your family is larger. So I have a good friend. There's 5 of them in the family. Knott's Berry Farm is their theme park of choice because it's a lot easier because their highest pass at Knott's is less than the lowest pass over at Disneyland.
The highest pass is Knott's.
Is lower
in price
than the lowest pass at Disneyland. So it's a great opportunity if you have a larger family. I highly encourage Knott's Berry Farm. The attractions there are great. You have Camp Snoopy, which just went through huge refurb. So you get to meet Snoopy and all the other Peanuts characters, Charlie Brown, Lucy, the whole 9 yards. So that's going on. Also want to talk about something fun that's going on, a little bit more educational. So a lot of times folks really want to maybe lean into the reading lists that are given by schools, something to keep the kids engaged during the summer. The Discovery Cubes, both in Los Angeles and in Orange County, are great opportunities for that. This weekend is the Power of the Arts Festival at the Discovery Cube in Los Angeles. It'll be music. It'll be movement. It was Create Now was founded in 1996 by Jill Gurr and initially named Right Now. In 98, it became Create Now. And anyway, all of this to say it's a great opportunity for you through music and dance and the arts this weekend at Discovery Cube in Los Angeles, included with your general admission. It is in Sylmar, so you're going to be not too far up the 5 here from the studio. But it's a great opportunity for you. They also do have day camps, and a lot of them have drop-ins, so you don't necessarily need to have signed up early. So it's a great opportunity for that. But what is open now at Discovery Cube Los Angeles through September 1st is a rescue exhibition. And it's really impressive for me because you get to go into a helicopter simulator, and we're talking you as an adult or you as a child, or you can take your family with you. They have experiences of what it's like to be a firefighter. So you like do the fireman crawl on the ground, everything there. They teach you how to do vertical rescue with like a rock climbing experience. They teach you how to do water rescues. All this stuff is going on, and it's a great opportunity to have a great time, but also to learn a little something. And that's always the easiest thing. It's kind of like you can remember a song easier than you can memorize lines to something. And so that gives you that opportunity to play to really be able to enjoy the summer. Now over to Orange County, Discovery Cube, which is just, again, off the 5, but going to be in Santa Ana this time. They just premiered Ocean Encounter, Explore Below, Act Above. And it is about learning how to be a good steward for the oceans, Orange County being right along the coastline. And that runs through September 1st. It's a great opportunity, included with general admission, for you to learn so many things. They've got this massive, massive blue whale that they have installed for that event, but there's a lot of hands-on learning. There's a sea lab to give you that whole experience of being underwater. So definitely worth checking out. And then this is cool. And I wish I wasn't busy this weekend because I would love to do this. Wild Rivers in Irvine, if you are familiar, closed for a good period of time, and it just has reopened recently. The After Wave Wild Rivers 21 and over party is this weekend from 5 to 9 p.m. So Saturday, the 28th. And you can get tickets. It's the first time they've had a special adults only night, and you can drink. You can go on all the attractions. Tickets are only $45, free parking after 4:30 p.m. and rideshare is encouraged because parking isn't the best. But that is an opportunity for you to experience something very different, kind of, be a child at heart. And then my favorite experience, my favorite event that is always happening at this time is the San Diego County Fair. I do love the LA County Fair. I do love the Orange County Fair, which is coming up, but San Diego County Fair in Del Mar is my absolute favorite. This year's theme is Summer Petacular, and that does run through 4th of July weekend. So through the 6th, you can experience that. They have incredible food. And the thing that I love is their concert series is really impressive. It's at the Del Mar Fairgrounds, which you've heard Tim Conway Jr. talk about here on KFI. But it's a really cool opportunity for you to go and experience something because the fairgrounds, unlike Orange County or LA, are literally on the beach. So you can actually take the train from Orange County. You can take the train from LA down to Del Mar. They have a station and they have a shuttle that'll take you right over to the water. And then you can get off the train there and be able to experience everything that the San Diego County Fair has to offer. So there's a lot of stuff going on throughout the Southland. Be sure to check out all the details of the link in bio at Nick Poliokini, or this week I'm with Nick. Instagram's the easiest, but you can see TikTok, the whole nine. I've got all of that stuff there for you. And always, always, always slide in my DMs. If you got questions, I'm more than happy to help you out.
Do you use Lumi in the DMs?
No, I use Mando in the DMs.
Well, that's still Lumi.
Thanks, Stefan.
Also, we have a request. They want to know what your shirt says, Nick.
Oh, it's funny. This is from Target. A good day for a good day. It's a good day for a good day. Thank you, Stefan. Look see, you're getting the moob action. If you don't know what that means,
don't rub your mammary glands like that.
Sir, these are pectoral muscles. I implore you, mammary glands. I have raised many a child. I have not nursed any of them. I have had, have you ever had, well, no, because you have kids. Did you ever have that experience? I know this is completely what's up with Nick.
They were teenagers when we got married.
Okay, got it. Because I was going to say, so with my nieces specifically, no nephews that are old, that were young enough, but there were many times when I would be feeding them and they would latch on, like if it was summertime and with, a shirt off, They'd latch
Way too
on.
much info. Way too much
Okay.
info.
If you know, you know. If you're a parent or you have taken care of small children, and especially if you're a dad and you have done the 3:00 feeding, you know this has happened. The kids just are used to it and they see nipple and they latch on. So we're going to finish it. We finish things here at Later with Mo Kelly. We don't leave things hanging.
So to speak.
But
KFI AM 640.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
It's Later with Mo Kelly, live everywhere on social media and the iHeartRadio app. And if you've ever been to Florida, especially this time of the year, I say late spring, summer months, even into early fall, you know that it can start raining at just about any moment. Or if you've gone anywhere down south, it may be hot as bejesus and all of a sudden it just opens up and rains. That's what it does down south. Florida's no different than that. But there's some rules that you're supposed to follow. Get your ass inside when it starts thundering and lightning, okay? Because a lightning strike, more times than not, will probably kill you. And common sense, which is not all that common, should dictate that if there's a thunderstorm approaching, you get out of the water. Why? Because water conducts electricity. It's a sad story, but it didn't have to be. The Volusia County Beach Safety confirmed to local authorities that a 29-year-old man who was visiting from Colorado with his new bride on their honeymoon was struck by lightning this past Friday while he was standing in ankle-deep water. The victim was taken to a local hospital in critical condition, where he later died from his injuries. Now, we're told that the storm was still miles away from the beach, saying that the lightning strike was, quote, an extremely rare occurrence, close quote. But here's the thing about electricity. It travels through water really, really well. And if you see a storm coming in Florida, and maybe just from being from Colorado, he didn't know that it can open up and thunder and lightning like that in Florida. But when you go to Florida, there are two things you have to watch out for: lightning storms and alligators. And I'm not even sure that's the right order, because you will encounter an alligator before a lightning storm usually. But you don't stand in the water. You don't ever stand in the water when you know that there is a thunderstorm approaching. Usually it's like maybe you have 10, 15 minutes. The sky will open up, it will get dark, and you realize it might start raining. Now, when you're in LA, it can be overcast and never even get close to raining. But when you're down south, and I know Carnisha knows this as well as anyone, when it looks like it's going to rain, it's going to rain. And in the summer, there is an added likelihood that it will probably be an electrical storm. I don't know why that is. I'm not real good on meteorology, barometric pressure, but we don't get them much here in Southern California, but definitely down south. And let me just ask you, Carnisha, what were you taught growing up with electrical storms, the do's and don'ts?
Just to stay inside. We could not go outside at all.
Right.
But the streets are quickly get flooded, and just stay inside.
You stay inside. I remember both my grandmothers would tell us, don't go near the toilet.
Right.
Don't turn on the water. I don't know how accurate that was back then, but we were specifically told stay away from the toilet in an electrical storm. I don't know. Maybe that was just as they say, an old wives' tale, but that was something I remember my mother's mother got very angry at me. Detroit, Michigan. It was in the middle of summer, and I remember her teaching me about lightning and thunder, counting to see how far the lightning was away relative to the thunderclap. We all know about that. You have the lightning strike, 1001, 1002, 1003. Okay, thunder. And you have another lightning strike. And if you can count longer, it's going away. If you count shorter, it gets closer. But she also said, don't go to the bathroom. Stay away from water. But you would think, if you're in the ocean, that would probably tell you you're more susceptible to a lightning strike. I want to be sympathetic. I'm trying to be sympathetic. It was on their honeymoon. I wouldn't wish ill on anyone. But you gotta know. You gotta know. You gotta know. Don't go into the water when there is a possibility of a thunderstorm, a lightning, and also you should stay away from small bodies of water when in Florida because you might get eaten by an alligator. And you have to stay away from large bodies of water because, with the humidity, there's a greater chance of a lightning storm. It doesn't matter if it's maybe, 5 or 10 miles away, because why? You're in the ocean, water, electricity, dead. It's a very, very sad story. They just got married. They were on their honeymoon. Very, very sad. Kinda. It's Later with Mo Kelly. KFIM 640. We're live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app. When we're going to come back, my final thought, it has to do with the upcoming mayoral race here in Los Angeles, less than a year away. Karen Bass, is she going to be reelected? I'll tell you definitively when we come back.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
If you did not hear me earlier in the show, I said that tonight's final word was going to be about Karen Bass and the mayoral race. But before we do that, last segment, I want to make mention of, we're talking about the stories of being told of what to do and what not to do during an electrical storm. And I was remarking how when I was growing up, I was told to stay away from the bathtub. I couldn't take a bath, couldn't take a shower, stay away from the toilet, anything that had water in it. And I didn't know whether that was scientifically sound. And I'm hearing from the Momigos, and they're sharing their similar admonitions in the chat. And you, Carnicia, were talking about what you were told to do and not to do. It's like, no, this is something that was a real thing. You didn't go near water. Some people were told don't turn on electrical appliances during an electrical storm. And yeah, and if you're from the Midwest or the South, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This is not exclusive to me, but, definitely want to hear your stories and thoughts in the chat on YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook. Tell us about some of the admonitions and warnings that you were told growing up. We'd love to hear from you. And for my final thought this evening, talking about the mayoral race, there are about 11 and a half months between now and the next mayoral election here. And if you just listen to KFI, you'd think everyone hates Karen Bass as a politician and as a person. I'm not exaggerating. If you just listen to KFI, you think everyone is of the same mind. But here's the reality. Despite her public issues, she still has a solid base of support, rightly or wrongly. Sometimes we get into these echo chamber silos and think that because the media we listen to, the media we watch, well, everybody must think the same way. KFI is real strong in Orange County. I don't need to tell you that. You know that. It's real strong in the county of Los Angeles, but it's not necessarily the loudest voice in the city of Los Angeles. Don't get me wrong. This station definitely has a sizable footprint. But if you live in the city of Los Angeles and talk to Los Angeles voters, it's just a different vantage point, different viewpoint. There's watching LA on TV like the protests. There's hearing coverage of LA on the radio like the protests. But that's not the same as having a presence inside its borders on a day-to-day basis, walking the neighborhoods, driving the neighborhoods, talking to people who live there. And as I said at the top, there are about 11 and a half months between now and the next mayoral election, June 2nd, 2026. And no doubt, Mayor Bass catches hell in a media sense every single day. A lot of it deservedly so, in my estimation. But if the two elections of Donald Trump should have taught you and me anything, don't confuse media coverage and polls with what people on the ground, actual voters, value. And there's this. She's still, as of this moment, and I confirmed it with Tuala earlier in the show, she's still at this moment the only real candidate running in the election. 11 and a half months out. You can't replace someone. You can't kick out the Democrats if there's no alternative. You don't get to call the voters for LA mayor, which most people listening are not. You don't get to call the voters for LA mayor dumb or stupid when there's no alternative. And I'm going to keep banging this drum. Even still, there is no Republican in the race. You can't hope for people to vote for a different direction, a different person, a different party, a Republican, when the party is neither putting forth a candidate nor developing one right now. You can't just jump in the race and nobody knows who that person is. You have to develop candidates. Here's a comparison point. Rick Caruso got in the race 9 months out back in 2022. Got in February. The election was in November. He almost won. So it's not too late in a calendar sense. We're more than 9 months out. But still, he's not a Republican in terms of party registration or fidelity, and he's still not in the race. Yes, Rick Caruso used to be a Republican and runs to the right of Karen Bass politically, but he'll never be viewed as a true Democrat. No more, let me use this as a comparison point. No more than Gavin Newsom would be reviewed as a Republican if he changed his party affiliation and ran for president. No more than former Sheriff Alex Villanueva, who was previously a Democrat while sheriff, but was not perceived as one per his politics. Perception matters. Villanueva, as a matter of fact, did recently change his affiliation to Republican, and it probably better suits him and his perception. But Rick Caruso tried to change his party affiliation specifically to run for mayor. He did so probably for a lot of reasons. He did so knowing that the majority of voters in LA are registered Democrats, and a Democratic candidate would have an easier path than a Republican. No one would dispute that. But the flip side is that a newly minted Dem doesn't get state party support. And yes, parties play favorites. Rick Caruso spent $104 million of his own money in the hopes of making up for his late party switch. Still wasn't enough. So just having the D next to your name is not enough. Sometimes it's just evident that complaining about LA is a lot more fun than anything. Most people don't live in the city, don't have any real connection to the city, and aren't doing anything for the city. I know. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about the other folks. But if the Republican Party were serious, and I don't think they are, but if they were serious, they would have been developing candidates to run in the race for mayor. Karen Bass has never been more vulnerable. There would be names on the tip of our tongue right now that would be getting in the race right about now. Not one Republican is presently even waiting in the wings. If this holds true, Bass, regardless of what you may think of her record, whatever, she will become mayor again. And maybe, just maybe, that's what you want. Because it makes more fun for you and me to complain about stuff having nothing to do with you specifically. I'm going to keep beating this dead horse until it turns to glue. I get it. Complaining is fun. Not productive, but it's sure as hell fun. I like complaining too. I'm not going to be hypocritical. Sometimes it's better to just complain and point. But also, I've lived in the city of Los Angeles for the bulk of my life. I'm pretty sure I can say I know the city from end to end as well as anyone. That's what 55 years has earned me. I've come by it honestly. From Bradley to Reardon to Hahn to Villaraigosa to Garcetti and now to Bass. I know the city top to bottom. But if the goal is better or different leadership, then there has to be competition. And you're not going to get that from inside the Democratic Party against an incumbent mayor. You never will. If you don't field a candidate, Republicans, you don't get to claim you're serious. For KFI AM 640, I'm Mo Kelly.
KFI and KOST HD2, Los Angeles, Orange County. More stimulating talk.